Hello everyone, I'm RecV5,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome to EA Sports Volleyball 2005.
Yes, that's right. Today we're going to show you a little bit of volleyball out on the gridiron. It's kind of hard to tell, but we have the Chicago Wreckers who are in the kind of white jerseys.
Yep.
On offense against the Jacksonville Leopards who are in the brown jerseys with the white helmets.
Yep.
So anyway, this is a long yardage situation, and that's why I have my dime defense out there.
Yep.
And of course, I drew my own dime package with basically it's the dime defense unchanged, except that I shifted the defensive line over to one side.
Yep.
So basically, that defensive tackle there that I'm controlling is in the gap between the center and the guard, and the other defensive tackle is lined up over the outside shoulder of the offensive tackle.
Yep.
And the defensive end there, the left end, would be lined up
outside the tight end.
Outside of the tight end. And the idea here being that is a more effective pass rush position than the standard defensive line alignments in this game.
Yep.
But anyway, that's not really what we were looking at. What we wanted to look at here, if you roll the play here, RecV5X, is that the Chicago quarterback goes back to throw the pass, and it looks like they're trying to throw a deep post over the middle.
Of some kind.
And of course, since I'm playing a dime defense, you can see that my safeties are both very deep.
Yep.
And I'm basically playing man coverage underneath. But he throws this pass, and it's like really overthrown. Like, look at this. And I have a feeling that what happened, because they had crisscrossing post routes in the middle here.
Yep.
It looks like the receiver actually ran into the guy who was covering the other receiver, maybe, and that's why that pass ended up being overthrown.
Yep.
But
Just
anyway,
a badly designed play.
Number 26 there, he goes up to make the interception, and of course, he's got hands of stone, so he tips it, and it goes to number 30. Number 30 tips it, and it goes to the offensive player, who tips it, and then it goes back to the safety, who finally manages to catch it on his second attempt. And then, of course, I start, remarking, being amazed at my good fortune here as I run down the field. And look at that suction block behind me there. Number 53 there, he throws a great block where he somehow manages to do his offensive lineman impression where he can actually draw a player against him, because there's no way that in real life, with the relative positions of those two players, there's no way he would have been able to block that guy legally.
Yep.
Right? He could have shoved him in the back, but then that would have been a flag, and then the ball would have come back to about midfield, right?
But with that animation, it's a legal block.
Yeah, with that animation, it's a legal block, and I'm able to gain another 20 or so yards on the return before another player comes over and pushes me out of bounds. So there you go, a little bit of fun.
A little bit of volleyball.
It was an unusual thing. You don't see, you can sometimes see a player tip a ball and it goes to somebody else, but you don't usually see that many different players get a hand on that ball, right, before somebody catches it.
Yep.
Right. That's actually the first time I ever remember something like this ever happening. So I thought that other people might enjoy watching this too. So there you go. Boing, 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 and then, yeah.
Even at full speed, it's a suction block.
Yep. Oh, yeah, for sure. It was a suction block. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Right? And, that's just one of the shortcomings of the game. I probably would have gotten tackled from behind by that guy, because the safeties on the Leopards are really not very fast.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, they're very slow.
But, I guess this is just one of those things, right?
It's just one of those things, yep.
But that's why in long, obvious passing situations, that's why I sit back and I'll play either the nickel, like the formation I build will either be based on the nickel formation or the dime formation, because I can back the safeties up really, really deep, right?
Yep.
Because they were trying to throw a long bomb over the middle here. And even at the start of this play, I mean, I backed up the secondary, and these guys are 25 yards off the line of scrimmage to start with, right?
Yeah, they're right next to the ref backer.
Yeah. So, like that's basically, I don't remember what the yardage was, but I know it was third down and a lot of yards, like probably close to 20 yards, right?
Yep.
One of those kinds of situations. And so basically I just play man under two and play everybody back really deep. And if they catch the ball in front of the first down marker and I tackle them before they make a first down, well, that's basically the goal, right?
Yep.
But anyway, I got one more thing to show real quick before we move on, so we'll pause.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and this is another one of those, I guess, practice games that I've been running with the new slider sets.
Yep.
And so, like it's been a little bit more challenging, a little bit tougher, which is why I've had to go to doing some defensive adjustments and innovations, I guess. So here the situation is that the St. Louis Scorpions have the ball, and it's third down and goal on my 7-yard line. And so I have the dime package out there again, and you can see the 4-man dime alignment with the left end there, number 93 out in space there.
Yep.
And you'll notice that Franklin there is crowded up to the line too. And basically the dime back and the nickel back both play in their normal positions in this formation.
Yep.
So if I press, then they both move down to where they are here. And if I play a cushion, they both move back to where they would be in a cushion. Like
somewhere back here.
Yeah, playing off. But I've got them pressing this time because I've got number 30 there coming on a blitz.
Okay.
So, and that's something I discovered even with the out-of-the-box dime formation. If you shift the line to one side and press, you can blitz with one of the defensive backs, either the dime or the nickel guy, right?
Yep.
Anyway, so what I've got happening here is that the left end and the dime back are both blitzing on an angle into the backfield. And what I did was I got the two defensive tackles to pinch together toward a point that is the gap between the guard and the tackle.
Right about here.
Yep. So, and then of course the other defensive end is crashing toward the left guard.
Yep.
Right. So I'm basically pinching with those three players, and then basically the entire defensive line is pinching. So anyway, if you want to roll it here, we'll see what happens. The quarterback drops back to pass. And you'll notice that the number 69 there, he has to engage that defensive tackle.
Yep, because if he doesn't, then he gets a free shot on the quarterback.
If he doesn't, then the defensive tackle gets a free shot on the quarterback. So he picks him up, and then that leaves the end and the dime back both able to run around untouched, and they do a team tackle on the quarterback.
There you go. At least 400 pounds of guy on the quarterback.
Yeah. So anyway, that was highly satisfying because, like I said, I tend to give up more yardage than you do on defense because your defense is actually pretty stingy as far as giving up yardage. But once I get, backed up inside my own 10 or 15 yard line, that's when things get tough.
Yeah, you have a stronger red zone defense than I do.
Yeah, and that's because... basically, but by the time I get backed up into that point, I just throw all caution to the wind and I attack. Right.
Yeah, speaking of which, you started doing this, you were saying, because of blocking running backs.
That's right, because quite often the AI will leave a running back into block, and the way that this little play is designed, as you can see, I basically engage the entire right side of the offensive line, right, from the center over, right?
Yep.
And because of that, it allows two players to come around the edge untouched, right?
Yep.
And that way, if they have a running back in there blocking, well, he can only pick one of those guys up, and he has to decide which one.
Yeah, because running backs don't typically have Walmart blocking.
Yeah, and that still leaves me with one unblocked pass rusher coming around the edge.
Yep.
Now, of course, I'm sending 5 here, right? So, and I know you don't like to do that on your defenses. You're a little more conservative when it comes to that kind of thing. You'd rather have, 7 or 8 back in coverage, right?
Generally speaking.
Whereas for me, the way I look at it is if I've given up ground to the point where they've got me backed up against my own goal line like this, well, like I might as well just throw everything I've got at him and see if I can, like force a turnover or get a sack or something like that, right?
In this situation, typically I'll run a 6 coverage, 5 man coverage, 0 deep scheme.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because you're basically trying to just stop the pass and possibly get an interception, right? Whereas here, I'm trying to basically get into the backfield and hit whoever has the ball, right? As quickly as possible. Because when you send 5 like this and you've only got 6 guys in coverage and you're playing a zone besides, and they've got 3 wide receivers on one side of the field, well, you don't have very much time before he finds an open receiver, right?
Best perspective on the field.
Yeah. And really there, if he'd have had time, he could have even thrown the swing route out to the running back out there, right? Because there was, like, the whole zone coverage got drawn off, and the halfback running out toward the flat there was going to be wide open. The only thing is,
I don't think he even looked there.
Well, I don't think he had a chance to, because I think that my blitz got there so quickly that, like he didn't have a chance to even look for an alternate receiver, right?
Yep.
But that's the thing, though, is with the dime package, with the standard dime, when you press down like that, well, both the dime back and the nickel back are both in excellent positions to give them an angled pass rush, so that they, because you'll notice the line of attack that the dime back follows.
Yep.
Well, that's the blitz right assignment, right?
Yep.
And he basically runs in a straight line at the quarterback.
Which is something better than you can get with any other type of pass rush.
He doesn't, like most other pass rushes from an outside player, whether it's a defensive back or a linebacker, they have to take 2 or 3 steps ahead to get around the offensive line, and then they'll turn and start heading toward the backfield, and that takes a little bit longer.
Yep.
Whereas this is very, very fast, right?
Especially for a player who can accelerate up to full speed very quickly.
That's right. So this is really fast. And, if you have a defensive back who probably has, a speed rating of around 80 or so, and, also probably acceleration of somewhere in that neighborhood too, well, if he doesn't have to contend with a blocker in the backfield, you can get in there and get the quarterback before the quarterback can even complete a pass to his first look. Right?
Yep.
But anyway, that was it for the replays for this time around, so I guess we'll move on to the game.
All right. And we're back.
Yes. And we are ready to go into week 8
of the Crusaders.
Of the Crusaders franchise, year 5. And if we have a quick look at the newspaper here. And we'll see, okay, that was the Louisiana Zombies, right? Crusaders bully Tigers. So, we beat the Tigers 38-10. And if we have a look at the weekly awards, well, Bo Jenkins was the Offensive Player of the Week, just like last week. And week 2 and week 1. So in the first 7 weeks, he's been the Offensive Player of the Week 4 times.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, what can you say? He's a good quarterback, and he's in the prime of his career.
Well, it helps that he gets every second year off, right?
Yeah. Anyway, this is what I was done to look at now. Cedric Perry, after 7 games, has 16 sacks.
Oh, wow.
So he's well on his way to mid-30s in sacks again. The guy is just a quarterback sacking monster.
Yeah, forget the Rorschach test. They need something else.
Yeah. Well, it's just like an old TV commercial that used to be on a long, long time ago when Joe Montana was still playing quarterback for the 49ers, and he was taking the Rorschach test, and every ink blot that the guy held up, he said Reggie White.
Yep.
Because Reggie White was like probably the premier pass rusher in the league at that time, right? So anyway, we should get on with the game here. And we're playing the Boston Royals today, they happen to be a very strong defense and a so-so offense. So I guess we'll see how that works out. They are 6-1, however. So maybe they've been playing better than their rating would indicate. All right. So I'm still experimenting, as you saw, with my defensive playbook for next season. I still give up more yardage than you do, though. I think maybe some of it has to do with your individual skill as a player on the field, too, though, right?
Well, maybe. I mean, the way I tend to position my line is based on my ability to control the center.
Yeah, and I can't do that as well as you do, and that's why I tend to rely more on four-man lines and that kind of thing.
Yep.
To fill up those gaps, because I know I'm not going to be able to control that gap all by myself. And as a result, my pass coverage has usually got one less guy in it. And that seems to translate into more yardage allowed.
Another great NFL matchup. We're glad you could join us for this Sunday night NFL contest.
And it's raining here in the whole home ballpark.
Yep.
It's really raining.
Welcome to the game. Al Michaels and John Madden here to bring you this one, sponsored by the fine folks at EA Sports.
Yep. Oh, they're going to talk about Howard Walker.
This guy's looking to make some play.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll know who to look for. Okay, we're going to defend this end of the field.
Much anticipated game.
So I guess we'll set up some audibles here. Some offensive audibles. And I'm going to go with this to start off with. And I know quite often I'll go with a quarterback sneak as an audible here, but I don't really have a quarterback on this team that is suitable for that. So maybe I'll try something else here. Maybe we'll try this. Because usually I end up with 2 run audibles if you count the quarterback sneak as being a running audible.
Oop. I should check what they have for personnel.
Yeah. I think they've got yeah,
they've got a lot of injuries.
They have, yeah.
They have an injury at quarterback. They have an injury at halfback. They've got a really good fullback. They have speedy wide receivers, though.
Yeah. I suspect the reason that their offensive rating is down a little bit is probably because they've got 2 important starters out, right?
Yeah, probably.
Because they're basically playing with their backup quarterback.
Well, I'll try the usual stick.
Back to the field. The home team are set to kick it deep.
Oh.
Booming kick.
Okay, well, it worked out still, I guess.
It's
From
fine.
the 3-yard line.
Ooh, I'm going to get blocked, though.
The visiting team will start the drive from 25-yard line. So they have 1st and 10 here. The corners playing off a bit. Only one man in the backfield. Hand off to the tailback. Loses one tackle. Number 50 brings him down at the 31-yard line.
Sometimes you can be a little over-aggressive on defense.
Yeah, who's their halfback? Is it still Brickley?
The over-pursuit.
He'd be the second string back because I think they had an injury at first string. Let's see. Yeah, but he's the second string guy now.
Oh, okay. I guess they went for a speed guy, right?
Yeah. Well,
Instead of the guy that runs over people.
it's not surprising that Brickley got decent gain there, though. He actually broke a couple tackles on that play.
Yeah, well, what's his break tackle rating?
92.
92 or something? Yeah, like, you're going to have trouble with him. Personally, I don't know that I would have looked for another running back to replace him.
With the pass. Incomplete pass. It's tipped away by
Because he's not that terribly slow either. He's got like 85 speed from what I saw there.
Yep.
But having the ability to run over people like that is just extremely valuable, right?
Yep.
Glaring holes in their front seven or in their secondary. So that makes it very dangerous on the defensive side of the ball.
Under pressure, gets rid of it, and he dropped it. In these conditions, the rain clearly...
I think that was probably a knuckleball anyway, because I think you hit him as he was throwing.
Well, that's okay.
So it was kind of going in the dirt anyhow. I would have been surprised if that guy had managed to catch that.
Hey, man, I'm just happy we got our stop.
Yep.
Here's the punt. From the 32. See if they can turn this first.
Well, we got 5 yards on the return.
Yep. Well, let's see if we can start off with a little bit of speed running to the outside here. Usually these guys are a 3-4 team, though.
Defense lines up in the nickel. Jenkins with a man in motion. They give it to the halfback.
However, if they're going to put the 4-man line out there, I'll take advantage of it.
49. And that gain will get them a fresh set of downs.
He just exploded towards the marker that time. That was a big-time run.
It's 1st and 10.
Oh, look at this. They're going to play 4-3 or something here.
He sees something in the defense. Passing on 1st down with the pass, and this pass is completed. Diving tackle at the 36-yard line. Jenkins guns the pass.
Well, I'm not going to complain about that.
When that steam's coming off.
So we have 1st and 10 here.
Couple of pretty successful plays already.
You know, they have some really big defensive linemen on this team.
Yep.
Look at the size of that guy. That defensive end there.
Jones, number 97, makes the tackle at the 34.
And that's a defensive end making a tackle on the outside run there.
Yeah, well, you know, Danny Jones isn't very fast, though, right? He's not going to run away from those guys.
Calling an audible now. Hand it off.
Whoa, okay.
Nice job.
I'm sure glad I managed to turn that inside at the last second.
What happened there? He unloaded.
Allen's glad, too. He got to save his rushing average. I think it's time to throw a curls pass.
Yeah, I can't see this play working 2 times in a row against these guys.
Drops back. Looking downfield.
Uh-oh.
Get him in there. Great job getting
That guy was, I thought that guy was maybe playing a zone,
But he was playing a spy.
but he was playing a spy, right?
Yeah, he just followed you straight across.
Well, I didn't like where he was standing to try and throw the pass over the middle, right?
Yep.
Mitchell lines up deep for the punt return.
And if he was spying and I tried to throw that pass over the middle,
He'd probably knock it down.
Well, he'd knock it down or intercept it, right?
I don't think he was in much of a position to intercept, but he probably would have knocked it down for sure.
Oh, well. There. Oh, what's this?
Holding penalty.
Okay, sure. We'll back him up a yard.
It's 1st and 10.
See, on my Nords franchise now, I've got a quarterback. Ooh. There, see that? He just ran that guy over.
Yep. That actually saved them out of the shadow of their own goal line there.
Yep. Anyway, like I was saying, I've got a quarterback with 93 speed on that team, eh?
Yep.
And if I'd have been playing with that guy on that last play, I probably would have been able to run around the end there and pick up a few yards,
Only
right?
one man in the backfield. Again with the carry. Jefferson brings
Probably.
it down at the 7. So a gain of about 1. A little over 4 to go. Number 27, the deep man. Closing in with the throw.
Oh.
Yep, got the pass over the middle.
Stops him at the 19-yard line.
Now, this is one heck of a play. Look at it. You're in a hole here on 3rd down.
It's always the post over the middle.
Yep.
Gets him a first and keeps the
Yep,
drive
the
going.
cheesy slant, as they say, right?
Camp with a man in motion.
It cannot be stopped.
They give it to the halfback. Mills makes the play at the 30. Number 27 with a nice run and picks up the 1st down.
And it was well executed. They hit their blocks and the back found the right hole to get down the field and pick up a 1st down.
So they have 1st and 10 here. The corners playing back. The backs are lined up in an I. Number 50 records the tackle at the 38.
This running back is more effective than some passing games.
Well, they're pushing us around out there right now.
Yep.
6th play of this drive.
Well, I kind of
They lead
expected
about
these
3.
guys would have a strong running game because I remember Brickley as being, you know, like a Pro Bowl player in our league.
Yeah,
here,
and so why
right?
the hell did they replace him?
I don't know. The AI teams don't always do things that make sense.
Pressure coming. Throws it.
And to tell you the truth, for improving the offense on this team, I don't think running back was the priority, really.
I agree. Although they did get some new wide receivers at least, but
Yeah, but they don't have any depth at quarterback. Like, I don't think this guy is any better than a mediocre player, right?
Number 27 with the throw.
oh, right past the curl flat guy.
52.
That was pretty cheesy, actually. That looked like it could have very well been an interception, right? Like, look at that.
Yeah, well, we've got the curl flat guy there, right?
Well,
That's his
not
zone.
only that, but that coverage on that play was so close too, right?
And we go back to the game.
I don't know. It is what it is. It's probably because of the play fake.
Yeah,
I think the play had a play fake, and so everybody stops still and goes dur.
Yeah.
Up that 1st down.
I don't know. There is a little bit of cheese involved in that one, I think.
Camp with a man in motion. Breaks free of the defender. Jefferson records the tackle at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to tackle him unless you're like squared right up in front of him, directly in his path. You know, like if you're trying to hit him from an angle or something like that, it's pretty tough to bring him down,
Well,
right?
he's extremely strong too, right?
Yeah.
With the pass.
Holy backward pass, Batman.
How come I didn't
They're
get that
lucky.
one?
They're lucky they recovered that. Wow.
But they do recover.
That was a really backward pass.
There's an element of danger lingering.
Oh, come on.
Well, just gave him a 1st down there.
Flag down.
That bullshit.
And he jumps the snap count.
The defense needs to concentrate better than that.
Yeah, whatever.
Frustrates the coach
Well, see,
more
this
than
is a
a penalty
6-1
like that.
team, so they have to do stuff to help them appear to be a 6-1 team, right?
Number 27, the deep man. Tosses it right.
There, team tackle.
Yeah, break that motherfucker.
I see number 94 was one of those tacklers, though.
Looks like they'll play bump and run on the outside. Rogers, the motion man.
They're just determined to run to the right. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, it's going to be pretty tough for them to run to the right with that alignment. Oh!
Despite good coverage, he forces the ball in there.
One thing remains constant.
That one hit him right in the hands.
Quarterback you are, rushing your throws is going to end up in incompletion or worse.
12th play of this drive. Kansas City backs its secondary off the line to be in better position to defend the deep pass. Only one man back. Camp sends a man in motion. Dropping back. Pressure. Gets rid of it. A little off target. But
Well, you stopped him at least.
I think they're in field goal range, though.
Well, I don't know. This is a longish field goal. 48 yards, and it's raining cats and dogs.
Yeah, it would have been fine if our defensive end hadn't jumped offside.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is
he's-
a terrible kick.
He's still short, yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah, well, we were lucky to come away with not giving up a point or two on that one anyway.
First and 10. Jenkins with a man in motion. Looking for room.
Okay, well, and it would help if somebody would block that guy.
He always seems to be in perfect position to make a play.
His motor's always running at 100%, and he's got the experience to diagnose plays very quickly.
That's the thing that drives me crazy,
Looks like he's
right?
calling an audible.
Really, what they should have done is they should have fixed this game for 06 and made it so that run blocking at the line of scrimmage is a priority, right?
Make it so that run blocking at the line of scrimmage is Madden 04.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every throw right on the numbers.
I'll tell you, of all the quarterbacks...
All right, give us Madden 05 pass blocking and Madden 04 run blocking.
Every throw is a good one. He's not the kind of guy who's going to throw a lot of balls into coverage either.
As opposed to the other way around. Because Madden 04 pass blocking is kind of cheesy.
Stepping up.
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Damn it! I had a guy wide open going out to the
Yep.
right too, and I went to throw it to him, and I pressed the wrong button.
It's okay. Yeah, that was Danny Jones running out there.
Damn it! That would have been a huge gain.
And 10. Looking to run it here. Play action. Throwing. Almost got it. John,
That's the thing, though. It's such a pain. You know what? Even after all this time, I'm still not used to this style of controller, right?
Yep.
coverage on the outside.
Because I played with a PlayStation controller for so many years.
Goal from the I formation. More
It's just drilled into you.
And just having those two dome buttons reversed
to carry it.
just completely screws things up, right?
There to bring
Yep.
him down at the 30.
Who needs to pass when you have a running game like this?
Well, I still think that they'll try to go to the air here because it's the AI.
Yeah.
With the throw. And
Oh,
He
drop
dropped
pass.
pass. Yep.
That's good because that coverage was actually awful. In spite of the fact that it was supposed to be full man coverage with two deep zone.
Well, they missed one from this range last time around.
They're inches closer now, though.
No, I think this is actually about the same distance, maybe a yard further, actually.
1 yard closer, I think.
Field goal, which would give them their first score of the day. The kick is up.
They didn't make this one either.
Wow, this guy has no leg at all.
Yeah, well, that's a lucky break.
His kick power must be like 40. Who'd they got at his kicker? We got to take a look at that.
I don't know. Let's see here. Whoop. Well, they've got the a 37-year-old kicker with
82 kick power.
82 kick power.
So he's like cupcake kicker, except accurate.
Actually, his name is Grant. They might have gotten him from the Leopards. Right?
Oh, God. Well, I guess he still had a good career, though, because his accuracy went up a whole ton.
Yeah.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Dropping back, throws it, and it's complete. Brady takes him down at the 47. Jenkins zips the ball into the receiver on that one.
And that makes it hard for him to be sacked, and it gives the defenders less time to react.
Okay.
This one is handed off. Still running.
Go easily.
That's how I make a living against the 3-4, right?
Yep.
He had a chance to stop him, but he was able to shake off.
I run that play quite a lot.
That's exactly what you have to do. On each run, if you can break one tackle, it can lead to some good yardage.
Directing traffic.
And I run this play quite a bit, too.
Handed off to the fullback. Steamrolls with it. He'll feel that one tomorrow.
Yeah, with how hard he just got hit, he's lucky to be able to hold on to the ball.
I think that was one of their defensive ends there.
First down marker is just inside the 32.
Well, I guess I'll let the first quarter run out here. A scoreless first quarter.
Could be a low-scoring game by the looks of it.
Yeah.
After 1 quarter of play.
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because they do have a 95 overall rated defense.
We should make them like the best defense in the league at this point.
Pretty close, yeah.
Receives the handoff. Can't bring him down. Number 51.
Go, Allen.
Hey, we've got a guy who can run over people too, eh?
Yeah, we worked on him real hard. But he's fast.
Really
Yeah.
open up things for him in the second half.
First down marker is just inside the 32. Looks like he's changing the play.
Well,
That's the thing, right? You can always get better at breaking tackles, but you can't get faster.
With the pass, and it's complete. Brady makes the tackle at the 25-yard line. Jenkins.
There, that worked okay. See what I did here is that's the reason I modified this formation and put the wide receivers both out one box further, so that I can use the hot route command to get him to do that, right?
Yep, to give him the flat rope.
Yeah, because if they're standing one box in further, for some reason, the hot route flat or drag won't work.
Really weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. But in this case, that was an appropriate thing to do. And look at that linebacker still almost got me. Whoop.
Ooh.
that linebacker almost got me anyway, right?
Yep.
Even though that got away really fast.
And this is the 6th play of this drive. They're within striking distance here. Any news yet on the injury, Jill?
I was able to talk to the team doctor, and he indicated that it is a minor injury.
But when I see this, I'd rather go to this because it's simple and it's quick.
All right, Jill, thank you for the update. Going to the air on first down. Throwing. And he hits his target.
An easy completion to Allen for a first down.
Yeah.
At the 13. They get another first down here.
Well, they're not doing anything fancy, but good old-fashioned drop back and pass. And it's working.
Wow.
Calling an audible now. Passing on first down with the throw, and it's caught. The defender brings him down at the 6-yard line.
We're at the 6. Maybe we can set up a run of some sort here. Nope. Or maybe not.
Calling an audible.
Oh, wow. That's quite the change.
Changing the play now.
Yeah, that's quite the change again. Now they're in a quarter defense.
Yeah.
Dropping back.
Although they have a defensive lineman playing one of those defensive backs.
He can't come up with that one.
He dropped it that time. Boy,
Hey, that
oh
was a
boy.
tough one. When you're playing in these types of conditions, even the easy passes can be hard to hang on to.
Well, John is blaming the rain.
Is he? Okay, well, I don't want to audible to the flat pass there when they're basically playing a press coverage, so I'm going to try this again.
Gets rid of it.
He caught it that time.
Although that was actually a little off target there.
Yeah, well, you know,
Now that's just how
you never really know what you're going to get,
play all the time
right?
in practice. They use
You know, like he'll drop an easy pass that's uncontested, and then the next time you throw it at him, it'll be at his almost his shoe tops, and somebody will be bearing down on him about to flatten him, and he'll catch it. You know,
Number 12 comes in for the extra point.
go figure.
And it's up. The point after is good. The home team are lined up for the kickoff.
Uh-oh.
He got all
Well,
of
it's
that.
not out of bounds.
Yeah, well, I can see that the kicking game is going to be an adventure today.
It's just the rain is all.
Yeah.
The rain makes the ball slippery on the foot, right?
Huh. Well, at least it was in play anyway. And I was able to cover it.
That's a way to think of it.
31. The quarterback lines up with two backs behind him. Going to the air on first down. Throws it, swings it out to the left.
Oh, look at that. He got 2 blocks for the price of 1 over there.
At the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's okay. It's still second down.
Six-yard gain.
Yeah, that guy who was out there in space, I don't know what the hell that was. Maybe it was some kind of a halfback screen or something. You don't usually have an extra player out blocking that far toward the sideline, right?
Good job converting for the first right there.
The receiver did a good job of getting open enough just to toss it in there.
It's first and 10. Loosening up the coverage on the outside. Number 27 lines up behind his fullback in the eye. Number 95
My gap.
brings him down at the 48-yard line. And they were able to
Oh,
get
this
to it.
morning when I was playing my practice game, you know that tough one I was telling you about?
Yep.
Once they
Well,
figure out
I
where
have a
the
rookie
play's
defensive
going, they do
tackle
a great
on that
job
team.
setting their block,
And he is not very big. You know, he's only got about 71 or 72 strength. But he's got low 60s speed and about 80 acceleration. And he somehow seems to be able to slip through the gaps in the offensive line and stop the run in the backfield, right?
Nice.
Called it inadvertent.
You know, that's the second penalty Jefferson's taken this game.
Moving around, you just tackle whatever you can and you
He's
grab
having
it
an
and
off day
move it.
today.
Sometimes you
Yeah,
get a
or
handful of
rather a day full of fouls.
The backs are lined up in an eye. Tosses it right. Dropped in the backfield for a short loss. Number 27 couldn't find any room on that one.
They really hustle on the defensive side of the ball. They're very good at clogging up the line, limiting the number of holes and cutback lanes that the back has to choose from.
With the pass,
Passing and leaving both backs in the block,
number
eh?
20 pulls
Yep.
him down at the 34-yard line. Number 87 gets the reception, a 7-yard gain. It'll be third down now upcoming. Looks like they'll play bump and run on the outside. Only one man in the backfield. Flings it to the
That's okay. We'll jam the shit out of them and then send a blitz on the outside.
Yeah.
Put the pressure on.
Are they trying?
See
No,
that
they're
kind of
punting.
thing out of these guys a lot. They're big and they're strong and they're fast.
They're punting from the 34-yard line.
Sure have their hands full when they get out.
Well,
of
they
that
couldn't
field.
kick a field goal from the 30-yard line, and they tried twice, right?
I think their punter is injured too, by the way.
Here's the punt.
I don't know. That was pretty good.
And so the punt goes out
Well, let's take a look, because I'm pretty sure I saw an injury in there somewhere.
Yeah, they might have hired another one from free agency, right?
Yeah, so they've actually got another guy in there,
Yeah.
Walter, and then they've also got Grant.
Yeah.
What's so special about Walter here?
Probably nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I guess he's
probably
an average everyday punter.
Yeah, he's a lunch pail punter, right?
Let's get back to
But he did the job for him on that play. That was actually a very good punt.
Calling an audible now. Hands it off. Barber makes the play.
Well, Danny Jones gets a block there. He ends up on his back, but he does manage to get the block, eh?
Yep.
Will help the offense dictate the pace of the game.
Oh, my. Okay.
Calling an audible. Dropping back. Throwing. He finds his man. Terry makes the tackle at the 29. Jenkins could have knocked the win.
You know what? It's just a terrible idea to line up like that. I don't care how good you are. You just shouldn't line up like that. Unless you're defending your goal line, you just shouldn't line up like that.
Mills comes in motion. Looks like he's calling an audible. Allen.
Nice job.
The guy who's there to bring him down at the
Tight end motion.
34-yard line.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure if he did anything over there or not, but
Yep.
I'm assuming that he did.
He did. He picked up that space backer out there.
Yards a carry. And, you know, that's the kind of production that every coach is looking for. But there are a lot of things that go into a successful running game. You got to have good play calling, good blocking up front, and a back that can take advantage when he sees the opening.
Number 35, the motion man. Looking for room. Barber takes him down at the 40.
Well, that linebacker got into an inside gap in the line, but the problem is he got into an inside gap in the line and you were running outside.
Yep.
Before they knew what hit him.
So they have first and 10 here.
It's awfully hard to get a motion blocker to take those inside gaps away too, right?
Yep.
Because it seems like they never actually go where you want them to go,
Jenkins
right?
sends a man in motion. Jones. Big pop that time.
You want someone there to tell you to watch out because he just got
Oh, I thought I got a yard on that.
You absolutely got a yard on
Building
that.
up some steam, but couldn't keep it going.
Oh well, I guess technically at least it's not a run for a
If
loss.
they can keep holding them to gains like that, you won't see too many rushes from the offense in the second half.
Changing the play now.
So I guess we're going to use our pass run play game here now for a bit.
Drops back with the throw.
Yeah, that guy who looked like he was blitzing on the left there, he was dropping back into his zone. He would have taken away that slant pass on you.
Throws one of the prettiest balls in the NFL.
I don't usually throw that slant pass unless I need more than 4 or 5 yards, right?
And a soft touch.
Seventh play of this drive. Ball right around midfield. Jenkins with a man in motion.
No, it's a zone. Well, now they're going to audible to a man, but
Gets rid of it, and it's complete. Number 99 takes him down at the 41. Jones comes up with the big catch on third down.
He made a great move right at the line of scrimmage to give him that little bit of separation he needed.
Receives the handoff. Barber with the stop at the 34.
The defense is going to need to try something different.
I'm having a little bit of success on the ground
Indeed.
today.
And this is the ninth play of this drive. So they need about 3 here. He sees something in the defense. He'll get it again. And he stops at the 26-yard line. 10th play of this drive. They're within striking distance here. Looks like he's calling an audible. Changing the play now.
Coleman getting lots of work today.
Dropping back to pass.
Although I guess it's Rhodes here, but that left wide receiver position's been getting lots of work today.
Yep. Yeah, you're picking on the left side.
That just happens to be, if you notice the positions of the safeties, that's the side that they're giving up, right?
Yep. Well, you're also getting that side on the run game more often than not, too.
Will get them 6 points. Looks like he's changing the play. Jenkins.
We'll just get the clock running again here.
Looking upfield. And it looks like he'll be a little short.
The blocking just doesn't set up on that play at all, eh?
Well, it is a toss play after all.
Yeah.
You know how Madden is about toss plays.
Yeah, they're just not allowed.
Nickelback in this time.
Now, against a very strong defense like this, too, I'm not going to throw that slant pass unless I have no other choice, because you have to respect these guys a little bit, right? And these all Madden caliber defenses sometimes,
they can do absolutely superhuman things.
Yeah, like warp around the receiver and beat him to the pass and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
Taylor makes the tackle at the 5. Five yards away from the end zone.
Well, let's see what they're going to give me here. Not much. See if they send someone out to follow him. Nope. Okay. If he can catch this, we should be able to get a touchdown out of this, I think.
Throws it. Great pass.
Go Danny Jones.
Puts points on the board with that pass.
For a second there, I thought that pass was thrown behind him a little bit, so he had to go back for it. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Well, thankfully, there was enough of a gap between him and the defender that it didn't matter.
Yeah, because you saw that, right? He had to actually adjust his route and go back away from the goal line a little bit.
Yep.
In order to catch that.
That's 14 unanswered points.
I guess Bo's having a bit of an off day today too, eh?
Well, it is like raining like cats and dogs out there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Bo's out there with his golf towel on his belt.
Actually, they do have towels on their belts quite a bit often if it's raining like this, right?
Yep, they do.
Not just quarterbacks, but everybody. At least anybody that might have to handle the ball, eh?
Well, I think we're just going to line up in the dime and play man under 3.
The corners playing back. Looks like he's changing the play. Only one man in the backfield. Camp sends the man in motion. He sees something in the defense. Pass play here on first down. Closing in. Gets rid of it. And he lets it slip out of
I somehow don't think that was the right pass to try to throw.
No.
Giving some cushion on the outside.
No, I think these guys are pretty much hamstrung because they don't have much depth at quarterback. And the guy that they have back there, too, is a sitting duck. I think I saw he's only got like 49 speed or something.
Perfect.
Like he's not going to run away from you and scramble.
Good at creating pressure, Then you don't have to blitz as often, giving you the ability to double cover an opponent's best receiver.
Number 50 records the tackle at the 29-yard line. Nothing happening for the offense. They're forced into a 3-and-out.
Well, they aren't even going to kick this. They'll just let the clock run out.
Yep.
At the end of 2, the score is 14-0.
Well, so far so good.
Indeed. So I guess it's time for the halftime stretch.
Yeah, and congratulations on shutting them down at the 30-yard line twice.
Oh, thank you.
Because that stopped them from getting any points, and we're in a lot better shape now than we would be.
Man coverage, press coverage.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll take the halftime stretch.
All right. And we're back.
Yes. And I was looking at the stats for halftime, and I've actually got 14 rushing attempts and 15 pass attempts. So that little bit of success on the ground that I've had, even though it's not a lot, has been enough that I haven't had to just pass, right?
You've been very well balanced.
Yeah, it really helps when you can have a little bit of success running the ball, even if it's not a huge amount, right?
Indeed.
With the tackle at the 31.
And for me, I'm perfectly happy if I can do this and pick up like 4 yards. I'm good with that.
Yeah, it might not be 10 or 15 yards, but it's 4 yards.
Yeah, well,
which is still a successful running game.
Yep.
Thank you. That was Jill Arrington updating from the sideline. Looks like he's calling an audible.
And then it makes them do dumb stuff like this, right?
Rolling.
Oh,
that one got knocked down at the line.
That happens to me too sometimes.
Yes, every now and then it happens. Now I have to throw a pass.
The visiting team come out in a nickel package. White comes in motion.
Well, they got a linebacker on White, but I could try throwing that curl to Coleman too.
Surveying the field with the pass. Brady.
Oh, I think I got cheated on the spot there.
Yeah, probably.
Well, he was standing on the other side of the yellow stripe when he caught the ball, right?
Good defensive stand there.
And to my mind, that's where the ball should be spotted. Oh my God.
Well,
if this keeps up, I'm just going to hand the controller to you, and you can punt.
Fuck.
For the rest of the game. I'm just not going to kick anymore. Like,
that bad, huh?
Oh yeah, because every now and then, like today, I played 2 games and I didn't have any trouble with the kick meter at all. And now all of a sudden in this game, I can't get the kick meter to work right.
Jefferson makes the tackle at the 42-yard line. And John is still trying to move the ball on the ground.
This is a tough.
That guy in 11 rushing attempts has got 3 broken tackles.
You can run the ball consistently.
So he breaks a tackle basically on almost a third of the run plays that he's involved in, right?
Yep. Oh, suction.
That was a suction block there, yeah. Nothing you can do about that, though. It's built into the game.
It's 1st and 10.
I guess, in a way, though, they probably didn't know how to, they probably didn't even have the technology back then to make an entirely physics-based game.
Back to the run on that play.
That just goes to show you that the coach trusts the guy.
It would have been pretty hard, yeah.
But it would have been nice if they could have evolved this game from what this is into a physics-based game where you didn't have suction blocks and animation-based things like that going on, right?
Yep.
At the 15-yard line, number 27 was dragged down before he could get to the line of scrimmage.
They have great size and quickness up front. That allows them to hold up against the run while also giving them the speed to rush the passer when they drop back to pass.
Gets rid of it.
Oh,
Yeah, waves at it and it goes over his head.
The 3-yard line. Good
what I
read
want to know
by
is
the
why he
defensive
took such an
coverage.
aggressive line on that.
Well, it's built into the game, right? And I don't know why, but sometimes they do. And, like you can't solve it. There isn't anything you can do about it.
Play bump and run on the
You know,
outside.
either the guy's going to play the coverage properly or he isn't.
Backs are lined up in an eye. Number 27. Number 27. Didn't get any help from his offensive line.
It was just about impossible to run when you have guys in the backfield just as soon as you snap the ball.
It'd be nice if you could force them into a pass here, though, right?
Can't. Sends a man in motion. Tosses it left.
Which it looks like you'll be able to do.
Very good penetration there. They were waiting
And now,
for it.
those guys that wave at those passes that go over their heads, well, at least there won't be very much field to work with, and hopefully they won't get out of position, right?
They have 7 yards to the end zone. Pressure coming. Throws it.
Well, there you go.
The pass slipped out of his hand.
When it's raining
He just didn't
like
want to
this,
get hit in the
it'll make
back
it
by
very
me.
hard to get a good grip of the ball.
He wasn't going to get in the end zone anyway, even if he catches that pass.
Good job of keeping the ball dry before each snap.
Grant lines up for the field goal to try to
Because
put
you
the
had
ball
at least
towards
3
the first time
defenders
in the
all
game.
in pretty good position to move up and stop him there.
Yep.
Good.
However, you can probably chalk that punt up, or that field goal up to that terrible
Kick
punt.
this one off.
It's whatever. We're still below 6 points.
Kick should be
Yeah.
returnable.
But I'm still annoyed about that because, I should have at least gotten another 20 yards on that net, right?
Defense forced the punt the last time after 3 plays.
The next time I'm forced to punt, it's going to be a pooch punt. We're going to take the shank out. Oh, yeah. Got double coverage happening here.
Yep.
Jenkins with a man in motion.
Oh, and then they left that guy out there. Well, while they're making up their minds what they want to do, I'm just going to go.
Big tackle there for a loss and great pursuit there, John.
What are you talking about, Al? That he made it back to the line of scrimmage.
It really pays
Yeah.
off when you make stops like that.
It's a big tackle for a loss. It's a big tackle for a loss.
Well, way too many are big tackles for a loss. It's what this game is designed for, too, right? Basically. Okay, well, here we go. I've been working on this a little bit.
Trying to get it to work to the other side, huh?
Dropping back.
Well, this is
Looking for
a
receiver.
new
And
wrinkle,
hits his target.
right?
Dives and makes the tackle.
See, what I'm doing here is basically, like, you'll notice that the flat route looks a little bit like the sort of out and up route that you see for like the flat cut up,
Yep.
right? I drew that for this guy because I was having trouble throwing this pass to him and having him stay in bounds, right?
Yep.
So what I want him to do is run out this way and then turn up the field, and when I throw the ball to him, at least I'm throwing it to him while he's still in the field of play, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And it worked flawlessly. Like, look at how wide open he is.
Let's get back to the action.
And the reason I'm working on that kind of thing, of course, is for our upcoming Magicians League playthrough, where I don't have any talent on the offense to work with,
Except for tight ends.
except for tight ends who are sort of half-decent players. Wow. Today we've got a lot of guys packed in the middle there. I hope the offensive line holds up for a second here.
Throws it. He hits his receiver.
You got it, and then you threw it to the fridge.
Caught the pass, but didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, the defense is real good at putting a quick end to completion.
They have to get the ball inside the 45.
But anyway, yeah, I've been working heavily on those, especially zone flooding and that kind of thing.
Changing the play now.
Oh, yeah. Oops, I called the wrong audible here, but that's okay. I guess we'll run this.
Number 47.
And make a whole ton of yards.
Yeah.
Pulls him down at the 36. Number 47 covered some Good ground there.
Hey, nice job up front, holding their block and allowing him to get a good run for a first down.
The defense lines up in the nickel. Looks like he's changing the play. Number 35 comes in motion. Looks like he's calling an audible. Throwing short to his left. Short swing.
Go easily.
The 30.
It's good to see him catching things and running after.
Yeah, well, you know, I still throw the occasional pass to him.
This guy really let it go.
He sees something in the defense. Jenkins sends a man in motion. Steps up into the pocket.
Uh-oh.
Tosses it right.
Something went wrong there because that was a real lame duck, eh?
Yep.
I'm not sure what happened there. Must have got hit as I was throwing it or something. Because I was trying to throw it as a bullet too, right?
Changing the play now.
Ah, who knows?
Well, it did not get out there very well, that's for sure.
Yeah, and their cornerbacks are practicing their basketball game out there, right?
Very tough completing passes on days like this, John.
You can say that
Well,
again. That's why they have
we're
do
going
a
to
good
have to
job
come up
keeping
with
these
something
balls
else
out.
now.
The same thing goes for the quarterback. You got to make sure you keep your hands dry so you have a good grip. This kind of weather can result in a lot of bad throws.
Okay, what do we got going on here?
Drops back, looking for an option, rolling out to his right.
I guess we'll have to settle for a field goal.
At the 12.
Hopefully I got all the bad kicks out of my system there.
Well, even if you didn't, you'll still eat up some time on the clock and, you know, this isn't a bad place for them to start.
Number 12 will try to come through.
Or it's bad for them, but it's not bad for us.
There, managed to get it this time.
The kick is up. And so that kick is good. The home team are set to kick it deep.
Yeah, what I was looking at there is I thought maybe I'd have that corner route, the way that their defense was looking, but then they dropped that guy off so that I had to basically bail out of it, right?
Yep.
After their last drive ended with 3 points.
Well, it looks like they're going to come out with one wide receiver again.
Looks like they'll play bump and run on the outside.
Yeah, well, there's still time, and it's not such a lopsided score that they have to give up on their running game just yet, right?
Tosses it out to the left. Number 27 couldn't find an opening and was brought down very quickly.
Yeah, he was. This line has to do a better job of holding up at the point of attack. He has a fast
I think that'll
first
change
step.
quickly, though.
Well, if they don't do anything on this drive, then yeah, they're going to have to start trying to throw more passes.
I think they're about to start now.
Number
Nope.
27, the 30. Big hit there. He was running.
That's okay. We'll get a
You had
team
the
tackle
team
from the
tackle
safety
from the
backers.
safeties there. Yep.
Did a nice job on that run.
The good old safety backers.
For first down, they'll have to make some adjustments to slow this guy down.
Well, we draft them big for a reason.
Yep.
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him.
Yeah, so long as they don't get blocked out by the offensive lineman, then they can make the play. Then
Pressure, throwing.
Nice.
look at that.
Pretty good coverage downfield.
That was Platt there.
Yep.
Doing some good work. That's good, too, because he's still developing as a player, so it's good to see him get out there.
Actually, you know what? I'm looking forward to having like an absolutely iron defense next season because you've got a lot of players out there right now that are,
Drops back.
you know, very. They look really good.
He threw it a little too soon and it missed the
Yeah?
mark. The pass
Yeah,
rush
you got some very like some of the young like the players that you drafted this season. They're looking really good. Eh?
I'm glad you think so. Crunch.
And then there's the old veterans, right?
Veteran linebacker bursts through and gets the sack.
He's always had the uncanny ability.
He was going to get one sooner or later this game.
I think he might have already got one this game. You can't tell, right? You're just so used to seeing it happen, it just kind of like blurs in your memory. There's another one.
Here's the punt. He's waving for the fair catch.
I actually had to call a fair catch there. I think that's the first one I had to call all game.
Yep, well, he hung that one up long enough that...
So they have 1st and 10 here.
Didn't have any choice but to do so.
Yep.
Looks like he's calling an audible. He sees something in the defense. Throwing on 1st down. Gets the pass off. He finds his man. Diving tackle to bring him down. Jenkins delivered that
Okay,
one
well,
just
let's
the right amount
rinse
of
and repeat
He's one
here.
of those guys who's extremely accurate with his passing. Receivers rarely have to make any adjustments in their routes to come up with a ball.
Yeah, it is going to be rinse and repeat too, because you see the way they've got the two defenders close to the line on the right hand side there, but there's only one guy lined up off of over Coleman.
Yep.
Drops back with the throw. He hits his receiver.
And he blew it.
The 40.
Yeah.
Barber is the guy who's there to bring
The safety barely took him down either.
27-yard line. Great play there by Coleman.
You talk about making it look easy out there. He caught that and he made it look very easy.
Well, that's why we do that.
See, in another version of this franchise, I totally would have made Coleman into a running back.
Jenkins with a man
Yeah.
in motion.
Because he has a good, decent carrying rating, and he's a bit big for a wide receiver.
That was a piss poor block by that fullback that time.
Some room and break loose into the secondary.
1st down marker just inside the 17.
He just sort of chipped that guy and then let him go by. Eh?
Yep.
Looks like he's calling an audible.
Anytime when I see a super crowded box like that, I just go to this now.
Throwing.
Because I know
Incomplete.
so long as the receiver doesn't drop the pass,
Slipped right out of his hand.
I know that
Like this, you have to make sure you get the ball secured.
that particular
Looked like
pass
he might
play
have
is
taken
very
his eye off the ball
effective
at the last second. That had a lot to do with him losing it.
And this is the 5th
against
play
that type
this
of
drive.
defense, right?
With 2 extra defensive backs, the defense is in the dime. Jenkins sends a man in motion. Looking for a receiver. Rolling out to his left.
Yeah, everyone is just covered.
Yeah, well, I thought I was looking for the guy running the short out there, and it looked like he was going to come open, but then that other guy followed him, right?
Whether he's coming after the quarterback or knocking the ball out of the air.
What is that? That'd be a 51-yard field goal
We
in
can
the
kick
rain.
it.
In the rain? I don't know. I guess I get a chance to think it over.
At the end of 3, score is 17-3.
That's tough. I think that's a tough field goal
Start the 4th quarter.
for these conditions, right? Especially the way that the kick meter has been working for me today.
Job, but it's a little surprising to see him in from this distance.
Ah, I didn't make it.
And it's up.
No, you really didn't make it. Wow,
No.
you shanked that like crazy.
No, I haven't made a good kick like all day today, right? I should have just punted it. It seems like every now and then the kick meter is just completely insane, right? You know, like it goes fast, it goes slow, it doesn't seem to, you know, like be consistent in the how fast it travels.
Rid of it. The pass goes incomplete. What a play by the corner to get to that pass.
He really had good position.
Well,
on
the safety
receiver
was there
without
too, Al. I don't know about that.
And personally, I think that's one part of the game they should have left separate, right? Like you should have been able to choose how the kick meter
They line up in
works.
the I formation. Throws it.
Or they should have just... Oh, wow. They should have just configured it to just be like a standard thing, right?
Any way you
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, it runs at the same speed all the time, regardless of what skill level you're playing on.
Going to a prevent defense here as they back up the safeties and corners. Number 27 lines up behind his fullback in the eye.
And it always travels at the same speed, regardless of how much power you... Wow, is that guy wide open?
Yeah, it's because what they did there is they motioned that wide receiver over, so what ends up happening is our third man coverage guy chooses to cover a running back instead of the tight end for some dumb reason.
Yeah.
And that's what creates that hole in the coverage. And lots of times I'll recognize that and I'll notice it and I'll audible to something else, but sometimes I won't.
The corners are giving a bit of a cushion.
It doesn't happen in a situation like this, though, with 3 wide receivers, because they'll always cover wide receivers in priority.
Yep.
Edwards with the tackle at the 44-yard line. Number 27 was right there to pull that pass in.
The receiver never took his eyes off that one.
Well, at the rate these guys are moving, unless they somehow manage to get a big play, they're not going anywhere anyways.
Quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. Gets rid of it, and he can't hold it in.
I don't think he had much of a chance at catching that. Nope. I think Ben French had it covered.
I think he got a hand on it, actually. It looked like he...
actually swatted it down.
Yeah, he actually swatted it with his left hand, right?
This third down play, we'll take a look at how they've done today.
Third down is when you want your players to dig deep and make a clutch play. When you convert, it gives your defense a little extra rest.
And he's not going to get away from that guy.
Nope.
Oh, they're going to go on 4th down now.
Yeah, that was Dwayne Matthews out there.
Yeah, and he's fast enough that even a running back's not going to escape from him, right?
7 yards to go. The corners are moving up.
And also, he's huge.
Not a lot of options here. They have to take a shot and go for it.
Well, there we go. Turnover on downs.
Yeah, buddy, what are you trying to do to pick that off? You trying to make us start further back? That interception would have actually been bad for us there.
Yeah.
Trying to pad his stats to make it into the Pro Bowl, I guess.
Maybe.
Dives and brings him down. Gain of 3.
Well, picked up a few yards there.
Ball on their own 45.
Well, you've had a decent offensive outing this game, anyways.
Yeah, I know, except for that one mistake, right? Where I pressed the wrong button by mistake. And that's what that was, right? I totally just pressed the wrong button by mistake. Uh-oh.
Surveying the field.
Wow.
This pass is incomplete.
You would have been better off just trying to throw it deep. It looks like they're just blanketing you short.
Yeah.
They got you figured out.
Get to him in time. Get your hands up and try and knock it down just like that.
Well, it looks like I caught him in his own defense here. We'll see what happens.
Drops back, looking for a receiver, tosses it right to him.
Oh, White will catch that and run a whole bunch because he's really fast.
Yep.
Take a look at this. He gets himself into position, keeps his legs under him, and then
Yeah, what's he got? 96, 97 speed for a running back and like 71 catching?
Yeah, he's pretty... Well, he's basically I think he's a converted wide receiver, isn't he?
That's correct. We drafted a speed demon at wide receiver and started handing him the ball in the backfield.
Yeah.
Sadly, couldn't get the block on the corner there like he wanted.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he's one of the most knowledgeable defenders in the league. He knows how to play the game, and he always knows what's going on.
They need to get the ball inside the 20.
Well, at this point,
for the first down.
I guess you got to get that obligatory run for a loss, right?
We wouldn't be able to run the clock without it.
They give it to the halfback.
Okay. And then another run for a loss.
Positioning led to that stop behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll do that kind of thing. He's one of the smartest players at defensive end. He always seems to be in position, uses his hands well, and he has those long arms. And that really helps him shed blockers.
Nice job so far on third down for the offense, and we'll see if that continues here. He's looking, throws it over the middle.
Wow, did they ever leave that slant wide open?
I didn't even see that.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yep. Yep.
See?
You can tell right here.
See, this guy's playing a deep... He's not playing man coverage. He's playing a deep zone, right? And he's playing a deep zone with a really big cushion. So, you know, like I've got a lot of real estate to throw the ball into there.
Yep.
And we go back to the game.
Guy was looking straight dead left there.
Well, I took a peek that way, but because I saw so many players dropping deep there, I decided to look back and see if I could get anything on the slant.
Yeah, it just wasn't worth it.
With a man in motion. Tucks it away. Hudson is the guy who's there to bring him down.
Look at how chintzy they are. Like, again,
Yeah,
I
really
ran across the line of scrimmage, and they didn't give me any yards for that.
Yeah, you know what they say, right? Home field disadvantage.
Yeah, it's like I have to get an extra yard for every yard that I gain, right?
He sees something in the defense. Dropping back, looking for an option.
There you go.
He finds his man.
And Herman's happy to get the ball. He's our special teams guy. He does all the kickoff returns and punt returns. And it's good to see him catch the ball once in a while, too.
I think I've gotten a couple to him this game.
Yeah, he'll be a career-long, reliable, I guess, possession receiver.
Like every other receiver on this team.
But more importantly, he's our special teams guy, so he's got a guaranteed job no matter what.
Drops back. He surveys the field. Throws on the
Wow, did they leave Sarah uncovered?
Well, you know what? That's what those routes are all about, right? Nobody thinks it's going to turn into something big, and then suddenly... And it's exactly, I ran this play earlier, right? It's exactly the same play, see? So I'm just using Allen there to pull the coverage deep. And I'm actually running a couple of short curls here, right?
Yep.
And they seem to hold the short zone guys in the middle of the field. And this is a little bit of a slow developing pass, but if I can stay alive long enough, then I can, you know...
Fire it out there and...
Yeah.
Get a whole bunch of gain after the catch.
And basically the only thing that really stops that is if they're playing a lineman flat.
Yep.
Right? That's about the only coverage that really will stop that pass dead, right? That's why the two short curl routes are there too, right? Because usually if they're playing a lineman flat, then you'll have a short receiver more toward the middle of the field that's open.
Mm-hmm.
Big players make big plays.
That was a 17-yard gain.
Give some credit to the linemen out there. They're the biggest guys in the field, and without them, no one gets into the end zone.
Sends it sailing. From the 6-yard line to the 20.
Well, there he is again. He's got a couple of tackles on special teams today, too. Mr. Matthews.
Yeah, he's an up-and-comer, that's for
It's
sure.
good to have a 300-pound guy that can run fast enough to cover kickoff returns, right?
Yeah, well, there you go.
With a man in motion. It's the toss to the left. Dropped behind the line for a loss of a couple. That play wasn't going anywhere except backward.
Actually, the way that you built this defense, that's one of the reasons why I've been experimenting with extra linebacker formations, too. Right.
Just because all our linebackers are defensive lineman size?
No, all of our defense players, most of them are linebackers now. Yeah, there's Cedric Perry doing his thing.
And they'll face a long third down here. Kansas City.
Yeah, that is a long third down.
Yep.
Safeties and corners.
He's probably going to get sacked if he tries to throw a long enough pass to make a first down
Gets
here.
the pass off. Oh, no, he caught it.
Miracle catch,
Couldn't
but
find a way to get past the marker.
it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, you'll give him that one, eh?
I think that one was a catch, actually.
Bring it out, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the kick. Fair catch.
I might have been able to run that back, but
What for?
give you more field to work off the clock.
Yeah.
It's 1st and 10. Changing the play now. Looks like he's calling an audible. Bart. Harry is the guy who's there to bring him down at the 42. Good game.
Okay. That was all right.
He's one of those guys who seems to play better as the game goes on. The more he gets the ball, the better he does.
Boy, oh boy.
Quite a few touches here as the game winds down.
He sees something in the defense.
Oh.
Somebody was sumoing.
Yep, somebody was still moving. You know what? I would rather be able to snap the ball, right? No matter who's still moving.
You're just getting an illegal motion penalty.
Yeah, if you get an illegal motion penalty, that's fine. But I mean, this other BS where you literally cannot snap the ball, they're just taking control out of your hands, right?
Yep.
Throwing. He hits his receiver.
That's okay. You went and got a first down out of it anyways.
49.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? They play all these little games to try and mess you up, and at the end of the day, it doesn't make any difference anyway. It's just annoying,
There
right?
aren't going to be too many guys who are going to be able to run and catch him.
Calling an audible. Jones, the motion man. Dropping back to pass on first down. Guns it to the right side. He hits his receiver. The 40.
I think Jones is a good matchup against a linebacker too, right?
Yep.
This appears to be of the 5-yard line.
Even if he's not the speediest guy on the field, I think most of the time he can still beat a linebacker when he's running a pass route.
Of course, that face mask penalty will stop the clock.
Looks like
Yep.
he's calling an audible.
Sometimes it makes you wonder if those penalties are intentional just so they can get more time.
Maybe. I don't know. I wondered about that too, but
Jones.
wow, look at that. I finally got a run out of the backfield with a positive yards.
Gain of 3.
I haven't had a lot of success running the ball in the second half, actually. I was doing all right in the first half, but
The visiting team come out in a nickel package. Drops back. Gets the pass off. And this pass is completed. Perry is the guy who's there to bring him down at the 17.
Well, that's okay.
So they have first and 10 here.
yeah, pretty much I'm just running the clock out now.
They have a big lead, and they're on the move again inside the 20. Changing the play now. Hand off to the tailback. Burrow takes him down. at the 13-yard
Sarah got a
line.
pretty good block there for you.
Well, like I said, anytime I can pick up 4 yards, I mean, I'm kind of happy about that.
Scoring range. The visiting team come out in a nickel package.
Wow.
Jenkins with a man in motion. Stepping up with the throw.
Oh, that time he supermaned it out there.
Very dangerous pass, tipped away by the defense.
He needs to do a better job reading the defense. He didn't appear to see the
But what do you
defender.
think? This has worked like twice already. Should we try it again?
Get there a little sooner.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Do so far on third down.
Third
Oh, no,
down
they're playing
conversions is a keeper
as
stat.
a man
When you
coverage
convert on
this time.
Third down, you keep 3 things. You keep your drive going, you keep their defense on the field, and you keep your defense resting on the sideline.
That's okay. They're going to leave White wide open over the middle.
With the pass.
Oh, knocked down at the line.
Upcoming after that.
He was wide open over the middle too, right?
Yep.
That was a touchdown if that ball had gotten to him.
Number 12. Head down onto the field for the field goal attempt.
Well, that one should be good enough to go through anyway.
Well, it had just the right number of accuracy.
The
Yeah.
home team pouring on with another score. Go in to kick this one off.
Well, we didn't completely dismantle these guys, but their offense hasn't been able to do much in this game.
Of course, the 3 and out on the offense's last possession.
Yeah, no, they've been more or less handicapped by their injuries. I mean, they had a good time running, but that ain't enough to get them to win this game.
Nope, I think that good time is over now.
Dropping back to pass on first down.
Now Cedric Perry's going to have a good time.
John, he's clearly one of the best in the league.
Yeah, he's one of those guys who's been playing for a while now. And let me tell you, he might never be better than he is right now.
Number 27 in the backfield. Pressure, throws it.
Nice.
Pass goes incomplete.
We're getting a little bit of that wraparound now.
Yeah, actually, your defense seems to have played pretty sharp today. Even the individual players, like there's been 1 or 2 errors, but not very many.
Dropping back, under pressure, throwing. Incomplete.
Oh, it looks like you're going to get the ball back again already.
Yeah, really.
Defense did a great job on that series, pushing
Well,
them back.
if I can, if they'll let me, I'll probably just run the clock out here.
Here's the punt. He signals for a fair catch.
That wasn't the greatest punt in the world.
No, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
2-minute warning coming up. The visiting team come out in a nickel pass.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Fullback handoff.
I could tell that wasn't going to go anywhere.
For a stop behind the line of scrimmage.
The only reason I went for that is because I knew it was going to make the clock run, right?
Out there in every snap. He's smart, he plays with leverage, and you can count on him to make a big defensive play just when you need it.
2 minutes to the final gun.
If they line up like that this time, though, I'm definitely going to go to a pass because there's no point, right? Trying to run against a 9-man box, I mean, what for?
Jones goes in motion. Looking downfield on the run. And the catch is made. And he steps out of bounds.
Stepping out of bounds.
So they have 1st and 10 here. Directing traffic. Coleman comes in motion.
Wow, okay.
Number 99.
That's a defensive tackle.
In the backfield.
Well, I'll go back to the other tactic again, right? If they want to give me an opportunity to run, I will. But if they're going to line up and go, we're going to stuff you if you run, well, I'm not going to run then.
Jones, the man in motion.
Because it's awfully hard to run the clock out if you can't maintain possession. I've got too many rushing yards. That's why I've had those runs for huge losses the last couple of plays. They're taking back those statistics. Right?
You think so?
At the 30-yard line. The quarterback really let loose with that throw.
Oh, I shouldn't have gone out of bounds there, but okay.
The receiver did a nice job of just hanging on to it.
Ball on the 30-yard line. 5th play of this drive.
Oh, they got the goal line out there now.
1 minute. The defense has had
Oh, that's okay. We all know the goal line is crap
down.
against the run.
Allen, the motion man. He gets the count. He picks up just enough. He picked up the first on that
Picks
down.
up the first
It's
down.
all about the interior linemen. They did a good job of knocking those guys off the line of scrimmage.
A little over a minute left.
I think they're just going to throw in the towel here.
No, they've got one more tackle for a loss in them for sure.
Another run. Gain of 2.
Okay. Well, if they don't call a timeout, I'll just let the clock run out here. Good enough. A good performance by the defense today.
Thank you.
We've come to the end of this one, and the
But
score
Bo
is
Jenkins is still going to get all the glory, and you know it.
blowout today. One side
Yeah, he'll be player of the game.
away, the other cruising to the finish line.
Because he threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, right?
The funny thing is, at least at halftime, it didn't look like they were doing so bad defensively, but
Well, that's what happens, though. If your defense is always on the field, even if they're playing well,
it doesn't matter.
Sooner or later, they're going to break down, right?
Yep.
You know, that's why the game requires you to have competent players on both sides, right?
Yeah, they probably just got tired.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I don't have any more rushing yards now than I had at halftime, right?
Yeah, they took them all back.
Yeah. But I do have 314 yards passing. And you were pretty stingy on defense there. Didn't give them much at all. And we committed the only turnover in the game, too. But look at that time of possession, right?
Yep.
So Bo Jenkins with a passer rating of 116.8, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, and completed 76% of my passes. 38 pass attempts. And yeah, Calvin Allen's rush yards per carry was like 6 in the first half. And then nothing but runs for loss in the second half, eh?
Still got a 3.8 yard per carry average, though.
Yeah. But anyway, so 27, 29 rushing attempts and 38 pass attempts. So it's a little more heavily slanted to the pass in the second half, but that was mainly because they weren't really giving me any choice. My play calling is a reflection of how the opposing defense plays. And if they crowd the line with 9 or 10 guys all the time, well, then I'm going to be throwing lots more passes, right? I'm not going to run against a front like that. It's futile. And I spread the ball around lots as usual. And Coleman, I guess, is the guy who got the passing yards today. With Allen, Jones, and Sarah scoring the touchdowns. And I only had 3 drops. 1 by Allen, 1 by Jones, and 1 by Sarah. So they each got a touchdown and a drop. So there you go. Gooden probably on the kickoff coverage. But he also got 3 tackles for a loss. What was going on there, eh?
Well, I think it was just those wide runs, right?
Yeah, and Matthews, I think he had at least 3 tackles on the kickoff coverage team. And got a few tackles for a loss. Cedric Perry, I don't tackle very much, but when I do, it's the quarterback. And as usual, no interceptions. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pass deflections, but no interceptions. And you did have a couple there that were actually legitimate dropped interceptions too. So 2 for 3 kicking. I had a bad day kicking today anyway. 1 punt for 10 yards.
My God.
Oh, yeah. I hate the kick meter in this game. I hate the way that they handled it. It's terrible. So Aaron Cash had a passer rating of 47.9. Completed 37% of his passes. With a long pass of 14 yards. I don't know, that just shows you how badly things are going when you have that low a passer rating and you didn't even throw an interception, right?
Yep.
You know, like, wow. And Brickley, he had a decent day, but he didn't get any more broken tackles in the second half. I guess he used them all up in the first half. And they had a few drops, but not that many. And their cornerback and their free safety had a lot of tackles. And their outside linebackers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tackles for a loss, and they were almost all in the second half. And 2 sacks. Four pass deflections. And they were only 1 for 3 kicking field goals. And the one they did get was like a real short one. So, who's the player of the game?
Bo Jenkins.
Bo Jenkins. Yep. Yeah, you got to do better than 3 sacks in a game on defense if you're going to get a defensive player, or if you're going to get a player of the game on.
Yeah,
the
you got to get
defensive
like
side.
6 or 7 sacks.
Yeah, and
in
maybe,
one game,
and maybe even recover a fumble for a touchdown or something.
get an
like
interception.
that too, right?
Or...
Yeah, you have to really, strap on the big S symbol on your chest with the cape, right?
Yep.
If you're gonna get a player of the game on the defensive side. On the other hand, you can have just another day at the office and get offensive player of the game if you happen to be quarterback.
Indeed.
Yeah, what was it you said last week? The game checks is quarterback.
That's right.
Check player of the game.
That's right. Yep. That's exactly how it works.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we're still undefeated, and things are just rolling along nicely for us.
Indeed.
So I guess we'll see if that continues next time.
Until then, I'm RecV5.
And I am Sandman99.
Have a good one.